Good morning, everybody, and we thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today at this conference. As suppliers and on behalf of all the suppliers represented here today, we appreciate this opportunity to take a little bit of your time to talk about the products that we can offer your business. I'm Dwayne Howard. I represent Quality Ice Company. We've been in business for 50 plus years. I've been a part of this business for over 40. And we appreciate this opportunity to speak with you. And again, I appreciate the opportunity that we've had to currently be suppliers for many of you here represented today, and welcome any opportunity we may have to be partners with you who we don't currently serve. Today, the focus I want to bring forth is about water. Again, water, you would know, is our one ingredient. We have one ingredient in a package of ice is water. We at Quality Ice take water very seriously. We have been very interested in the ongoing water concerns, not only with supply, but with the quality of water that is available to all of us. Water supply has become a topic as populations have grown. Concerns have legitimately been brought forth about, are we going to have enough water? Are we going to be able to supply the kind of water that we need to support the population growth in our region? Fortunately, most of our regions are growing. Anytime population grows, it helps all of our businesses because it gives us more people to sell our products to. But again, water sometimes gets put aside as a concern, and it shouldn't be. And with us in the ice business, water is our lifeline. Basically, water is all of our lifelines. But without water, we do not have a business. And again, I just want to bring a little bit of attention, not taking a lot of time, but there are some legitimate concerns. I think probably most of you are aware of the concerns of water and how water can be affected by the environment, by manufacturers, by industry. Much has been said lately about the concerns for the water that we consume on a daily basis. Many years ago, not only did you not see bottled water in your stores, but it was not even considered. People would not think about buying a bottle of water. Now you can walk into many of your retail locations, and much of your store space is set aside for bottled water. People are concerned about the quality of water, and we should be. And again, I just want to bring forth a little bit of information, not a lot. I don't want to get real technical about it because sometimes it can be a little technical, but water supplies over the years have driven most water municipalities and water systems to, instead of drawing water from the ground, which can easily be contaminated, but not as much so as surface water. Surface water is water that we would be drawing from rivers and from aquifers. And that water is a lot easier to contaminate than the groundwater, even though groundwater can be contaminated. And I bring a little attention to some information I found about groundwater and how it can be affected by manufacturing. An article named "Contamination of Surface, Ground, and Drinking Water from Pharmaceutical Production." I mean, the pharmaceutical companies in our area are growing pretty fast, and I'm not trying to say that every pharmaceutical company is contaminating groundwater, because that would not be a true statement. But I do think this is just a couple of things I want to bring forth to help support and help bring a little bit of awareness to where we're at with water quality. And this gentleman, Mr. Fick, made this statement. He says low levels of pharmaceuticals are detected in surface, ground, and drinking water worldwide. Using and incorrect disposal, usage and incorrect disposal have been considered a major environmental source for these microcontaminants. Recent publications, however, suggest that wastewater from drug production can potentially be a source of much higher concentration in certain locations. So what the gentleman is saying is it's not everywhere, but this is just one source. And the reason I bring forth the information about the pharmaceutical companies is because in our region, pharmaceutical companies are growing very, very, very fastly, and it's been a good thing for our economics. Um, Recently, also, there's been a lot of press about this chemical called Gen X. I don't know if anybody. I know many of you that are around the Cape Fear River certainly have probably paid attention to the news media and the reports about Gen X. But I'm gonna also just bring forth a little bit of information that this Catherine Clabby brought forth in a article from the North Carolina Health News. And this is the concerns that she brought forth, and I'm quoting her. Based on the EPA site in Research Triangle Park, Strennar and Lindstrom, who were some chemists, were the first to identify Gen X and the related chemicals in the Cape Fear, downstream from a chemical plant DuPont built in 1970 and operated up until 2015. Gen X is one of many per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS, in parentheses, a family of engineered compounds with some which are possibly harmful to human health. Gen X is among the engineered chemicals of this ilk that most drinking water treatments can't touch. Now that brings water treatment into the conversation. Ms. Clabby has said that these environmentalists are saying most water treatment systems, and there are many varieties of water treatment systems that may not necessarily have the opportunity or have the ability to take out these particular types of contaminants. And this Gen X is something I think there's a lot of continued talk about. We at the area that we produce ice in, to my knowledge, does not have any Gen X or at least that particular compound in the water supply, or at least I'm not made aware of it having that. But I will say to you, we have a water system in place, according to the manufacturer of our system, that would take care of Gen X if it happened to be available in our water supply. The point being, at Quality Ice Company, we have a water system that is adequate. We have the water system that many of your current bottled water suppliers are using. It's a multi-stage water system. It's not just an RO system, a reverse osmosis system that maybe many of you are familiar with a little bit. It's not just a UV system. It's not just carbon filters or ionization. It's all of them. It's all five. Each part of this water system plays a role in removing the contaminants and bacteria from the water. And I just wanted to take a little time to bring forth the facts that when we say that we're producing a clean product, we have to say that not only because we're using purified water, but we also operate this plant as a food facility. We come under a lot of regulations, and many of the same regulations that most of the food suppliers come under. We're inspected by many outside regulatory agencies, including North Carolina Department of Agriculture, including the military, who we serve. Much of our ice is sold to the military, Fort Bragg, Camp Lejeune, many other places. So we're regulated on that respect. But again, my point today was consider where your ice products are coming from. They are many retailers that choose to bag their own ice. And if your water contamination, if your water supply becomes contaminated, which many times they do, we hear many times that the water system has come under a boil water alert. That there's something happened into the water system. I don't. Many of the municipalities do a great job and are very conscious of bringing forth a great water, but sometimes it's just not the case that we get in the quality of water we're hoping to get. But we at Quality Ice Company bring forth a product that is been treated by a multi-stage water purification system. And I want to believe that would be important to not only you but your customer. So when we say we're bringing forth a quality bag of ice at Quality Ice Company, we are doing our very best to substantiate that claim. We take very seriously the purification of the water we use before we make the ice, and we take very seriously how we manufacture and package this ice and bring it to your retail location. Again, I do appreciate this opportunity as a supplier to speak with you today a little bit about water quality. Um, I know most of you are very aware of the issues of not only water supply but water quality, and it is something that we're all going to be addressing as we go forward, and particularly as our populations grow. Water is not something we should take for granted. I don't believe it's anything that most people do take for granted. But again, we want you to know that we appreciate any opportunity to do business with those of you that we don't currently do business with, and very much appreciate the business that we're doing with many of you today. And again, we thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today, and we hope that the remainder of the conference is beneficial to all of you. And I look forward to speaking and meeting with most of you today and as we go forward through tomorrow's meetings. And anything that we can do or any question that I can answer concerning Quality Ice Company, well, I would certainly appreciate that opportunity. And we thank you.